Hello, friends, and welcome back into NBA Now. Once again, I am Tom. That is Jimmy. We're going to lead things off today with some more NBA news and rumors because a whole bunch of stuff did happen in between our previous shows here. So we'll start things off with some more updates on Russell Westbrook, namely that both sides, in a truly shocking development, agree that there should be a trade.
Yeah, it kind of just started slowly developing. The first report out this probably, I would say, late morning, early afternoon was, hey, the Thunder are officially taking calls on their star point guard, Russell Westbrook. We're like, okay, cool. Yeah, we figured. Because everybody takes calls on everybody. And then later it came out that Russell Westbrook is officially interested in a trade, and Miami has expressed interest, and that interest just might be mutual between Russell Westbrook and the Miami Heat.
For the Thunder, this just makes sense.
It's too much sense.
They're not going to compete in the Western Conference and at a high enough level to justify paying all of this money when your core is Russell Westbrook. I like SGA long term.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gallinari, Steven Adams, and Terrence Ferguson? Like it just doesn't work in the end.
No, it doesn't. Look, SGA and Russell Westbrook, I don't know how in the world that would fit. Terrence Ferguson is not a starting caliber player on a playoff team. Gallinari's incredible. I mean, he's really, really good, but he's 30 years old. He's on an expiring contract. He's probably not in their long-term plans. And I love Steven Adams, but he definitely took a step back last season. If your core is Russ, Adams, and Gallo, you're not going to compete in the West.
You're a bottom seed at best in the Western Conference.
It's time to sell.
At best. Now, the Heat do have interest there. I need to issue an I was dumb, by the way, because when we put out our trade packages for Russell Westbrook, I forgot the Heat were hard capped. Which changes the salary cap ramifications. Instead of being 125% plus 100K in terms of what they have to send out versus what they get back, it has to match it if not go above it. So it can't just be Dragic and Winslow like it would have been if they weren't hard capped.
Right.
They have to give up more. So I'll include James Johnson. Heat also get back Patrick Peterson. They don't need him, but that saves the Thunder money, and it gives them another wing, so I think it makes more sense.
I also think a more likely scenario is a third team gets involved.
Yes, that's super complicated. I didn't want to do it.
I don't blame you because I don't know who would go where and which team would get involved. I mean, I assume it's a team with cap space, which there's like 2 teams left.
Dallas!
It's like Dallas and Atlanta. I don't even know if Atlanta has that much left. So somebody's probably going to have to get involved to make all of this kind of work and facilitate.
Which is also why it's so difficult to do a trade right now because, A, players who were signed can't be dealt until December. We don't have Myers on there because he can't be traded until 2 months from now.
Right.
Because he was part of a different trade there. So it is all very complicated there. Russell Westbrook, though, I think it's funny. The differing comments we've seen roll in here. There is the Westbrook comments. And then there are the Russell is a fantastic player, still a legitimate top 10 player. And I think the truth lies a little bit more there in the middle. Like, he did average a triple-double last year, which is insane. Although it wasn't exactly efficient.
Yeah, I mean, inefficient is a better word than just, it's just not the same Russell Westbrook at this point. And look, averaging a triple-double is ridiculous. I mean, it absolutely is. It's unheard of. 2 seasons in a row, 3 seasons, whatever it's been now. But he's not the same Russ. He's not a guy that if you give him the ball, he's going to lead you to an NBA championship, and that's what you're trying to do now in the NBA is win a championship.
All right, so do you guys want Russell on your team? Type Y for yes and type N for no. I'm curious how these votes are.
Me too.
Would you want him on your team?
Not personally. Not for my team the way it's constructed as of right now. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. But, I mean, I can understand there's certain teams where he does make sense, It just depends on so much.
It very much depends on what you're a fan of. I think most of the yeses have, but there are some no's. Like, if you have a young point guard or a top 10 point guard, you probably don't want to bring on Russell Westbrook then.
Right, or if you have a main guy
it just doesn't quite work out there.
Yeah, or if you need a guy that needs the ball in his hands to succeed, like I saw somebody put why they want him on their team and they're Rockets fans. I don't understand that one because James Harden needs the ball in his hands to succeed.
I see some with the Knicks and Timberwolves and Pistons.
That makes
those
sense.
All say yes. Those do make a lot of sense. You give those votes full, folks. Yeses and nos. Even-ish.
I'd say it's 50-50.
In the end. All right, speaking of the Thunder, they're actually not going to sign Alec Burks after all. Now, they had agreed to sign him, but after the Paul George trade, Oklahoma City went to Mike Muscala and Burks and said, hey, we'll let you opt out of this. Like, we'll give you the money. We'll give the deal either way. But if you don't want to sign here, we understand that. You can go somewhere else. Muscala said, nah, I'm going to stay. Burke says, nope, I'm going to go to the Warriors instead on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, I think, for both sides. For Muscala, you're kind of like the main backup power forward. Maybe if eventually, if things work out, oddly enough, he could end up
start
starting.
down the stretch, yeah.
And Alec Burks, look, you go to a team, Golden State, that just values shooting, and that's what you are as a shooter. That's what they're going to pick you up to do, is to go score the basketball. Good on OKC for letting their guys kind of back out after they are getting into something that they didn't necessarily sign up for, you know?
That was the right move by the Thunder. And for the Warriors, they do get another shooter there. They need more bench wing guys. I could even see some scenarios where Burks starts some games because who's really their small forward? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors lineup right now is a total mess. I mean, we were literally just looking at their depth chart before we even got into the show, and it was like, man, without Klay Thompson, do they compete for a playoff spot? We're not 100% sure of that. But Alec Burks, I think, helps you. He's just another scorer alongside Curry, alongside D'Angelo Russell. If all things click, yeah, they'll be back pretty easily, but that's a big if, you know?
You know, sometimes when that franchise loses a key player like Durant, it's like a game console, they just turn it off and say, okay, we'll deal with it tomorrow. Warriors did the old reset. Takes a little bit to reboot, but I think they're in good shape overall given what they lost with Durant and Thompson.
Yeah, I agree.
That would, for most teams, be, we're not making the playoffs this year at all. Warriors like, no, we're still going to make the playoffs, maybe even compete for a title still. Now, for Burks, of course, he clearly wanted to play for a contender.
Yeah.
So which would be more important to you guys watching? Type 1 for more money or Type 2 for a chance at a title?
You know,
you get in the bag or the chip with the dip?
It's really easy to sit up here and say, hey, what's the difference between getting a $2 million contract and a $20 million contract? Just give me $1 million and I'd be happy. I'm going to say title for now. But
I see ones have it like, I don't know, 55-45. The twos kind of came back in there.
It's close. I'm going to say a title for now until I eventually make it to the NBA.
Jonesy does want to know how much more money, which I guess is a very, very good point in the end there. So keep those votes flowing, folks. 1 for more money, 2 for a chance at a title.
What's your answer? You didn't give your answer.
Give me the bag. That's what I want.
There it is.
Let's move then to Hawks Warriors. Speaking of Golden State, they've made a trade. Omari Spellman comes in exchange for Damion Jones and a 2026 second-round pick.
Yeah, they literally traded for a 6th grader and Damion Jones is basically what they just did right
I love
here.
NBA trades.
Yeah, look, this was kind of a lateral move, I think, for both sides. Spellman offers you some shooting as a big man. He kind of stretches the floor. And you know, they didn't really need Damion Jones anymore. They signed Willie Cauley-Stein. They have Kevon Looney. They brought him back. So it makes sense. And Atlanta, you know, they get another 7-footer to replace Dwayne Dedmon.
Yeah, and they need a backup center. So for Golden State, again, we'll put Jordan Poole on there as in like let's experiment with the 3-guard lineup before Klay Thompson comes back. But maybe it's Burks, maybe it's McKinney. I don't know who plays the typical 3 role for them.
Now, well, no, they can't match on Jordan Bell. I genuinely don't know.
I'm going to chime in here.
Yeah, do it.
LeBron6 says, Tom, I'll give you $1,000 if you shout me out. Shout out LeBron6. My Venmo is at whatgoingdowny. Thank you very much. Sorry, continue.
Has that ever worked?
Someone did Venmo me $1 one time.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty funny. I don't know why they did it.
I was going to say, I think there's a chance that maybe Draymond shifts to the 3 and maybe they start Spellman or Looney. I don't know.
It's weird.
They're going to have a weird time adjusting
when they
lineups.
get Klay back. I do think they go to more to that 3-man lineup or that 3-guard lineup there. All right, so again, the trade details here for you. Omari Spellman goes to the Warriors. Damion Jones, who was clearly the odd man out there, and a 2026 second-round pick go to the Atlanta Hawks. All right, folks, make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. We have passed the 126K mark. Kind of fun how that went down fairly quickly, I think, there in the end. Get us to 130K. That is our next milestone there. Darian wants a shout-out. There you go. S. Westmo wants a shout-out. Who else? Okay, that's all I see. It's all everyone gets. You guys weren't fast enough. Thank you all very much for subscribing. I assume people we did shout-out are already subscribed. So, there you go. Speaking of the Hawks here, Jimmy, Jabari Parker's coming to town.
Yeah.
He's Santa Claus or something. I don't know.
They had the cap space to spend, and they went out and spent it on Jabari Parker. Look, 2 years, $13 million is an overpay. Kind of surprised they gave him a player option instead of a team option on the second half of that deal. But if he's scoring, that's great. I guess that's all you're going to ask him to do because he doesn't play defense. I mean, if he even played like 50% defense, he would probably be a pretty solid NBA player because he scores the ball really well.
He's like a 3-4 hybrid that isn't quick enough to guard 3s, isn't strong enough to guard typical 4s, and doesn't shoot well to be an undersized stretch 4 or true 3. So he's just kind of awkward.
Yeah, he's kind of fizzling out, but he's got a good paycheck right
if
here.
he could up that figure to 35%.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a big boost to his game, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on who you bring him off the bench with or who you bring him into the offense with, like if he's out there with like a DeAndre Hunter and a couple other really good defensive players, then you can mask him there and get him to be productive on the offensive end. I like what Atlanta has built. I think they will be competitive in the Eastern Conference for sure.
And I think for Parker, that contract comes off the books in the next big free agency. Next year's not that important. No one's going to even spend a lot of money. But the year after that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And I mean, I would assume, unless he just has some incredible year, that he'll pick up that player option on the second year eventually.
All right, folks, so which would you rather watch, the Summer League or the MLB All-Star Game? I'll be honest, I've been so focused on NBA stuff the past, 2 weeks, I totally missed the MLB All-Stars being announced. The Home Run Derby's tonight.
Yeah, shout out the Home Run Derby.
Maybe I'll watch it, I don't know. So which would you rather watch?
I've been religiously watching Summer League already, and I haven't paid a lick of attention to MLB All-Star Game. Heck, I'm going out to Summer League this weekend, so
that's right, you are.
I'll take Summer League on this one.
Shocking moment here. The Summer League for the NBA show we're doing is leading the votes.
Yeah, it's kind of figured, but
right?
They're watching this instead of, I think the Home Run Derby starts in 45 minutes.
No, I think it's got to start later than that. I don't know.
Who knows?
Cares? All right, anyway,
we don't care.
Let's move then to the Lakers. LeBron James, no longer the point forward. Now he's just the point guard. Or
straight
point god.
Up. Point God. Magic Johnson 2.0 here, LeBron James. I
think it makes sense.
I mean, he's shifting over. It makes sense. He's your best ball handler on the floor, I guess, unless you want to bring Rondo back in. But Rondo was had one of the worst plus minuses in the entire NBA. Like he was
because the LA was bad. When it's a primetime game or the playoffs or Rondo tries, he's great. Otherwise, he is Ron doo-doo. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah, good way to put it. So now LeBron James is officially your 6'8", 6'9" point guard running out there, which is absolutely insane.
So the Lakers' current lineup, and we'll consider this like the crunch time lineup. You and I were going back and forth, and the last note there on the previous player card was, I don't know what their crunch time lineup actually is. Like, you lock in LeBron, lock in Danny Green, lock in Anthony Davis, probably lock in Kuzma too. That leaves one spot, but Kuzma can't guard threes.
No.
So you've already got LeBron in there, so you need another guard type instead of like a DeMarcus Cousins. Maybe it's Quinn Cook, maybe it's Avery Bradley, maybe it's Kentavious Caldwell, who actually was a pretty good defender last year.
I mean, think about it. If you're playing against a team like, let's say, the Portland Trailblazers, who have a small two-guard backcourt lineup with Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum,
you can't
matchups get weird. Or then you go, I don't know. It's going to be weird. It's just going to be a lot of switching up Frank Vogel's going to have to be doing throughout the season.
So you're going to see a lot of shuffling there with the Lakers when it comes to their overall lineup. KCP's only 6'5", but has a 6'8" wingspan, so he and Danny Green could guard the 1 or 2 or 3. LeBron could guard somebody. That leaves Kuzma against maybe a 4, AD against the 5. Works better in terms of a defensive lineup against most teams out there. But that Lakers crunch time unit very much up in the air. All right, folks, giveaway for you guys from our friends over at MyBookie. Head over to chatsports.com/NBA now. Use promo code CHATNBA for a 100% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $50 for free. And here's how you can get a free NBA jersey as well. Email promo@chatsports.com. Once you guys sign up and deposit, place your first bet. Maybe you want the new LeBron jersey. After all, he's changing numbers. It's no longer 23. That's AD.
Going back to number 6, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right. I can't wait for that. We'll see if he can be
the 6.
The same that he was in Miami.
That's what it is there. All right, so folks, again, that's chatsports.com/NBA now. Speaking of the Lakers here, as several of you pointed out, we were going to get there. Calm down.
Golly.
Avery Bradley on a 2-year, $9.7 million deal. Now, here's the thing about Avery Bradley. Once he left Boston.
Oh, wow. It seems like a lifetime ago.
He has not been the same player.
No.
Which I think is a credit to Bradley Stevens there. So I think Bradley here, coming in on the room exception, fits as a backup guard.
Right.
Maybe with a bench unit alongside Rondo. He was a good defender for Boston, but since then he has not been the same player, so maybe that was some of the scheme and the fit there. he's coming off a little under 10 points per game, but he didn't really play actually all that much for the Grizzlies, and of course he kind of inflated his stats while there too, because nobody else.
I mean, while he was there, the 14 games he started, 14 games he played in, he put up 16 points per game, but it's the Grizzlies, and at the end of the season, they were sitting Mike Conley. They were basically sitting everybody, and so Avery Bradley was like your veteran on the team that kind of did everything. I guess he's still a solid defender, but you're going to be watching him brick a lot of open threes because that's just kind of what he does now. Now, I do believe this is not going to cut into their cap space at all. This is the room exception, so you're not really spending a whole lot of money on him. I guess it's a worthwhile risk. And like you said, they're going to need defense at some point, and I guess that's what Avery Bradley brings you at this point.
And he can help guard ones, maybe some twos, because he does have a pretty good defensive background in Boston, but hasn't quite been the same since then. All right, so on LA, how many games will the Lakers win next year? You said 53, is that right?
52 this morning.
52, okay, because I pegged it at 53 and a half was the over-under, something like that. How many games will they win? Let us know. We'll give some shout-outs. I think 52 is a good number. I'll say 51, 50.
Okay.
I think they get to 50 wins, but someone says 12. That's pretty funny.
12, 25, 45, 44. A lot of them in the 40s.
If you said 76, no. 49, I think that's fine. 51, 59, 52, 48, 48, 40, 56, 44, 52, 81, 13. Wow, slander. Shout out people who said 69. I know you're not serious, so I appreciate it. 57, 60 plus, 41 wins max, 50, 52. So kind of all over the place there in the end.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of Laker lovers and a lot of Laker haters all in the
chat right now. That's how it works when it's focused on LA. Speaking of LA, JaMychal Green going back to the Clippers on a 2-year, $10 million deal.
I love this. I think JaMychal Green became a core piece of their bench last season. Near the end, he's kind of a stretch four now. He's kind of turned into that, which actually surprised me. And if he did pass on a bigger deal, that's got to excite you if you're a Clippers fan. So.
I don't know if I believe that. Nobody ever says, yes, I took more money and passed on a chance to go back to a better team. They always say, you know what, I had bigger offers. There's never been a player in the history of the NBA who's like, I had no bigger offers. They were just dumb and gave me too much money.
Well, okay.
Terry Rozier, of course, had that happen, but he didn't say it.
That's true. But I like the pickup regardless here.
I do too.
I like that they kept them. I like that they're keeping their bench. They're keeping that depth intact. Man, I'm losing my voice today.
You got some?
I do. But 40% three-point shooter, pretty darn good.
Hey, yeah, that's a key role in today's NBA as that kind of stretch big man, I'll call him there. And for the Clippers, look, this team continues to build out a really, really good squad. Patrick Beverley, Shamet shot great from deep. That's going to be his role this season.
Oh, yeah.
Kawhi, Zubac, you have, of course, Paul George. Frankly, you got a great defensive core there. JaMychal Green can play defense. Mo Harkless can play some defense. Harrell can play some defense. And, of course, reigning six-man Lou Williams. There's a reason the Clippers, folks, are the favorites to win the NBA title this year. Do you think they do that, Jimmy? Yes or no?
Golly. I'm going to say yes. I think they are the team to beat right now. And look, with Beverly, Kawhi, Paul George, whoever they play, nobody's going to be able to score on that lineup right there. And then offensively, they're really sound as well. I love what the Clippers have done this offseason.